Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. How are you? I hope you're doing well wherever you are and whatever business you are passionately running. I am here to help you with your marketing journey. All right, well, we are now almost at the end of our time in the Netherlands, and it's been so good to spend time with my family and friends, and I'm really a little bit sad to leave them behind soon and also to tackle the long journey back to Australia. But I'm also really excited to see my husband, and I know that the kids are really excited to see their papa. Plus, I do miss my puppies, and finally, I kind of miss our chickens as well. So I'm not sure how things are where you live, but I've noticed both in Australia and in the Netherlands that the cost of living is really going up. Like things are simply more expensive. And I know that some people even talk about a recession. I'm mega optimistic. So I'm trying not to focus on that message. I know that comes from a place of privilege. It's just, the world's just a bit different, I guess. But I've also noticed that while traveling, that there's definitely money to go around. And I like to believe that it's a matter of priorities. And of course, some people have more than others. So that's what I want to talk about today. Like your ideal client has money to spend. They have certain priorities in life. So let's figure out how to find those people so that they spend their money with you. If what you're offering is one of the things that they want and is on a priority list, because there is definitely money going around. I've definitely seen that. While we were here, we've been to a theme park, and oh my God, it was so super busy. So yeah, sometimes I'm like, what are you talking about recession? Like when it's like a serious recession, you wouldn't go and spend money on a theme park. At least I don't think you would. Your ideal client has money to spend. And I've spoken plenty about how important it is to know your ideal client. And I think it's more important than ever now, really. Like there's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and there's a gazillion other online spaces. And it's where your ideal client hangs out every day, probably, some of them. But you really don't want to be doing all of those things. Like if I think about it, like having to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that's just exhausting. So being everywhere, just like you'll just end up exhausted, overwhelmed. And on some of those platforms, you won't even be seen by that many people because it's crowded, it's busy. And the algorithm, it's not going to listen to us. So how do you attract your ideal clients when everyone else is shouting into the same void? Well, it really comes down, again, to really knowing who your ideal clients are and knowing them so well that you are speaking into the void, so to say, that they feel like you're speaking directly to them. Like, when you are saying something and they are reading or they are listening to you, they literally, it's like they're saying, oh my God, you're inside my head. So let's go back to defining clearly who your ideal client is, but using your ICA, so your ideal client avatar. So let's have a look at that. And I know ICA, it sounds like something out of this world, but it's actually quite simple. Your ICA, your ideal client avatar, is the one person you use as your true north to point all your marketing efforts towards. It's that one person. So rather than speaking or trying to speak to multiple people, you speak to one person only. And you imagine that you are talking to this one person whenever you're creating anything for your business. And this includes your homepage, your product descriptions, your emails, your social media, your Facebook ads, everything. And most business owners try to speak to multiple people because they fear that they miss out on sales or on customers if they narrow it down too much. But the opposite is actually true. For example, let's say you are a business coach selling a course that teaches business owners how to set up their business foundations. And you might say that your ideal client avatar is women business owners. And this is mega broad and super vague. Like, you need to get super specific. So get back to the drawing board, narrow it down to something like this. My ideal clients are beauty salon owners in their first year of business, located in Tasmania. They are between 30 and 35 years old, have 2 children in primary school. Their salon is based in a small shopping area, and they have hired 1 staff member. And you might start objecting by saying, yeah, but my ideal clients could also be hairdressers, or they could also be fashion store owners, or. And narrowing down your ICA doesn't mean that you can't or won't sell to others, but it does mean that you are speaking to one person only, and that person will feel like you're in their head. So the more specific you get, the easier it will be to create content. It'll be easier to write sales pages. It'll be easier to run business, and it will also be easier to sell your course. And the more specific you get with your content creation, the easier it will be to attract the right people. And if you're still not sure about this, try it for 3 months and see the results. Because marketing to everyone means that you're really marketing to no one. And sometimes I actually find ICA, or ideal client exercises, quite tricky. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do, but here's a little trick. I find that an easier way to determine who your absolute ideal clients are is by looking at your existing clients. Of course, you need to have some to be able to do this, and to actually pick one of them that you absolutely love working with. Like, if you have a number of clients and you're like, oh my God, I love working with this person, I wish all of my clients were like that, then that is your ideal client. And you need to base your ideal client avatar on that. And the trick is still to pick one and only one, and write down as much as you possibly can about this person and who he or she is. So the next step then is to find out where to find them. And this can be pretty hard, or you can make it easy if you already work with this person, because you can survey them or get on a call with them and you ask them questions. So you really want to ask them more about who they are in their everyday life. So what types of cafes do they visit? What do their day look like? Does their day look like? Where do they love to shop? You really want to get them, like, to know them at a friendship level. It sounds a bit crazy, but it really will help you so much. Then once you really know who they are, you will know where they spend their time, and that's where you can focus your marketing effort. You're like actually spending it in the right places, rather than just like hanging out on every single thing and getting really overwhelmed. And yeah, it might not even be working. Maybe your ideal client listens to podcasts, or maybe they spend time on Instagram, or maybe they don't actually spend much time online at all, but they visit markets or conferences. Like, my dad is not on Facebook. So it would be really hard to market to him if he would be in your ideal client avatar. He definitely buys a lot of stuff, but he is not on Facebook. So knowing your ideal client is so important, because not only does it help you show up in the right places, it'll also help you write a message that resonates with them. And those 2 things are so potent. So find out who that one, write it down, one person. Find out who that one person is that is your absolute ideal client, and it'll be easier to market to them because you know where to find them and you know how to attract them with your marketing message. So start marketing like you are only serving this one person. There are more people like that out there, but don't worry about them. Focus on this one person that you want to be working with. All right, that is it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope it was helpful, and I can't wait to share more marketing tips with you next week. If you are ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure you visit newschoolofmarketing.com to download practical free resources, plus subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Until next time, take care and market your business every day